ara rẹ̀ láàmú sọ pé òun wọkọ̀ bọ̀ wá sílé akéde lóríta Basọ̀rún nílùú Ìbàdàn mọ́ pàápàá jùlọ láti ṣe ìkéde yẹn polówó ọjà yẹn tàbí fi ń tọ́tọ́ tó sì yẹ tó àwọn aráàlú létí bóyá nípa àpàdé nípa àsọjí àbí nǹkan kan àbómi ìtẹ́balẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe ẹ torí agbègbè àgbáyé kẹ́ẹ̀nà tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe hàn wá 091 5870 3300 lórí agbègbè kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ WhatsApp nọ́mbà yìí kan náà mọ̀ ní ọ̀rọ̀rùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ stress free courtesy BCOS. You don't have to stress yourself coming down to Ile Akede Orita Basọ̀rún Ibadan again to make that announcement or place that advert. Book online, personal paid announcements, obituaries, or in memoriam, annual conventions, workshops, crusades, social diaries, inter-house sport competitions, musical shows or concerts, and other promotions. Very simple. Go online to book for transmission on BCOS radio channels or BCOS TV, or simply call 091 5870 3300 or WhatsApp on the same number 091 5870 3300. BCOS, a media giant in a class of its own.
rédíò tí ó láfiwé Olúyọ̀lé FM àwa ni bàbá.
Yes, the program is Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. And of course, Conversation is a program where we talk about stories inside newspapers, important stories that affects the people that
Conversation.
Yes, sorry for that short break. It affects the people, affects government, and we give ideas, our own opinions, and it does not reflect the opinion of the corporation. It affects our own opinions and our own views. Now, members of the public, our listeners, you also have the opportunity to make calls, yes, on radio when the time comes. We are on Okeogun FM 96.3 in the Okeogun area of Oyo State and Agility 92.1 FM in the Ogumosho zone. That is talking about being together. Also on our Facebook page, you can listen to us, and we are that means, like Tola will always say, you can't beat the rich. And we have two newspapers here this morning, the Tribune and the Vanguard, and I'm sure you want to know some things and give your own opinions and have your own views about some issues happening in Nigeria. My name is Bimbo Akonbi, like I said once again.
Conversation.
Yes, I have a story here which is staring at me, staring at my face. Yes, and it is a big story, a story that has been on for a long time, and which seems to have no end. Yes, but we hope it will have an end. Talking about the Rivers State crisis. Amawule's Assembly, Fubara's commissioners flex muscles. There appears to be no end in sight to the political crisis rocking Rivers State, as the State House of Assembly, led by Mr. Martin Amawule, has asked Governor Siminalayi Fubara to sack all commissioners in the state within 48 hours and submit a new list of nominees for appointment within the same time. But in a swift reaction, the state government said the 27 lawmakers were acting on the figment of their imagination, overstepping their bounds and eating up the polity even more with their demands. This came as Governor Fubara yesterday denied receiving any letter from the Amawule-led House which gave him a 48-hour ultimatum to present the 2025 budget before the House. And also, the State Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odu, has debunked the rumor that she has resigned from her position following the rising political tension in the state. Well, 48-hour ultimatum to sack all commissioners, political appointees, and to, present lists of other nominees, appointees. Well, is that not overstepping bounds, like the state government said? Yes, I don't believe this can ever happen. If he wants to give the governor a 48-hour ultimatum, to sack commissioners, yes, he should not give him another 48 hours, to bring in new commissioners, nominees. And I know that all this is about flexing muscles, like the story says. Fubara's commissioners are flexing muscles with the the State Assembly, State House of Assembly, and well, we hope all this comes to goes to the past, and this is not looking as if something inside, something good will be inside so soon, and we hope that it will not lead to, like I was telling my colleague, it will not lead to a situation where it will now be turning to, shedding blood. Yes, yes, that is what I pray for, that it will not lead to that.
In the first place, the Amawule Assembly, have they taken over the affairs of the Rivers State Legislature? From what we are reading here.
Yes, Amawule's Assembly. That is what I see, what is staring at me in the face right now.
And I'm also wondering, the other faction, the 4-member assembly, have they joined them now? Have they joined the Amahuli assembly? And as for the commissioners, why are they flexing muscles? I mean, I don't know what they are relying upon. If the Amahuli assembly is now recognized River State Assembly, well, they have every right to, if they want to ask them some questions, if they want to summon them for any reason. So I don't know why the flexing of muscles, and I don't know why. Well, like we've been saying repeatedly, I think all parties, it is time to let peace be. Why it's time to shift the sword. I mean, the squabble has come this far, and none of the parties involved, again, like we always say, none of them seems to be thinking about the ordinary people of River State. It's all about self-interest. It's all about ego, and all about the fear of what would happen if I should completely throw in the towel at this point. Well, regarding Governor Fubara, especially, and his cohorts and his commissioners, I am not taking side with Mr. Wike. I'm not saying Mr. Wike has done anything right in all these, but for the sake of the peace of that state. And I believe the FCT masquerade is also very human, and would listen to voice of reason, if only those he is content with also decide to toe the path of reason at this point.
And meanwhile, a prominent Niger Delta leader and traditional ruler, Asali Dokubo, asked President Bola Tinubu, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, and the 27 lawmakers in River State, urging them to abandon any plan to impeach Fubara. And also, Ijo youths under the umbrella of the Ijo Youth Council worldwide have warned that they will not stand idle by and watch political gimmicks unfold in River State with the sole intent of truncating the administration of Governor Fubara. Political gimmicks.
Well, I did not jump in the gun. No one has said they want to remove Mr. Fubara from office, but from his behavior, from his as that put it, from his flexing of muscles, well, his adversaries might just begin to consider that. I also think no one should think of impeaching him. Let him serve out his term. Especially me, I'm saying this in my own little humble way, even though my voice wouldn't make any impact, but then I will still voice my opinion. I think the FCT masquerade should just let him be and complete his term. So, well, you might want to not to support him again if you seek a second term in office, but then that again would depend on the people, on the good people of River State. Just let him be and let him complete his term. I think that's the best thing in these circumstances, and let Mr. Fubara to stop flexing muscles. Let him stop flexing muscles and the masquerade.
Yes, and you know, impeachment, you know, politicians, they are quite funny. The impeachment, they use impeachment to, you know, kind of want to, you know, embarrass that person in public. You understand?
So deal with him.
Deal with him. Yes.
And teach him a lesson. Right, down to your state now. African countries have capacity to ensure global food sufficiency, says Governor Seyi Makinde. That's during the visit of the Australian president and his team touring the Fashola Agri-Business Hub. And he says, well, of course, sure, African countries have the capacity to feed the world, but again, like I always say, again and again, leadership, the questions of leadership.
And continuity.
And poor leadership is what has stopped Africa from harnessing and realizing its potentials. We always like to blame the West, Bimbo, but the West cannot do anything to us if we don't let them. When we have good leaders and the West want to take those leaders away from us, either by removing them from office or killing them outrightly, they don't come do it directly. It's us they use. When they use the military, it's still us, Bimbo. So whatever they do, and even where they are ripping us off, I always say this: if they are ripping us of our natural resources and they are having the very best, the crumbs, even the crumbs they leave for us, what do we do with? What do our leaders do with those crumbs? Nothing. So like it's always a question of proper leadership and for Africa to be able to realize its full potentials. Still from Oyo State, Oyo government, well, quite a brilliant initiative that was set in motion into operation yesterday. Fallout of the State Executive Council meeting. It takes Oyo government to generate $250 million in few years through establishment of sovereign wealth fund. Coming from Governor Seyi Makinde. Oyo State government has submitted that it is capable of generating $250 million in few years through the newly approved Sovereign Wealth Fund, SWF. The Executive Council, at the end of its meeting, identified SWF as beneficial to the economic well-being of the state, both in the short and the long run. The State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Prince Dr. Oyelade, in a statement issued on the outcome of the meeting, said the main objective of SWF is to generate wealth through diversification and prudent investment practices, as well as transform financial assets of the state into tangible benefits for the people. And the good thing about this, Bimbo, is that the governor also assured that there are mechanisms in motion to ensure continuity even after he leaves
his office. Now, Lassa fever, Nigeria records 95 deaths, 509 cases from 12 states. Well, Lassa fever, there have been hues and cries over the resurgence of this fever in the past how many weeks now. Now, 95 deaths have been recorded, and from 12 states. No fewer than 95 deaths have been recorded from the Lassa fever outbreak since January 2025, while 509 cases reported in 70 local government areas. This came as the country reported a total of 627 measles cases across 30 states and 213 local government councils in January 2025. The Lassa fever cases were in 12 states of the Federation, according to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, which disclosed this on Wednesday in its situation report for week 8. Well, all right. The NCDC, well, they are doing well, but it is the prevention that is that matters now. Talking about proactive measures to prevent these diseases from recurring, you know.
Update on the rumbles in the Senate chambers. Senator Natasha Akpoti versus Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The Senate Ethics Committee defies court order, sits on petition against Akpoti Idoahan. The Senate on Wednesday revoked an enrollment order of the Federal High Court asking it to stay action on its investigation of the petition against the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti Idoahan. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja had earlier granted an interim injunction restraining the Senate Committee on Ethics Code of Conduct and public petitions from proceeding with disciplinary action against Senator Akpoti Idoahan. However, despite the court order, the Senate Committee, led by Senator Neda Umaswem, deliberated on the petition before it. And looking at this story now, I'm also wondering why the issues, the allegations raised by Senator Akpoti Idoahan against Senate President Godswill Akpabio, I don't know why the Senate is not looking into that. It looks as if that is being dismissed as irrelevant and just rantings of an ant as far as the Senate is concerned. And they are quick to look into the petition against Senator Akpoti over the matter of misconduct and unruly behavior in the Senate chambers, and they are not looking into our own side of the story. Now, Senator Umaswem, who is the head of that Senate committee sitting on the petition against Senator Idoahan, he actually acknowledged the enrollment order from the court, and he said the committee would not defer to the order, as he declared that no court has the power to meddle in the internal affairs of the parliament. So the parliament is above Well, I don't know, but I don't want to comment on this because I'm not a lawyer. I may be wrong. So maybe Senator Emerson is actually right. Maybe the senators are above the law, or maybe when they are in the Senate chambers, anything they do cannot be questioned by the judiciary. They call this internal affairs of the parliament. Like I said, I do not know what the law says. I don't know what the constitution says about this.
Maybe they have immunity. They are covered by immunity.
And how do you define what is the internal affairs of the parliament? Because as far back as I can remember, and then the last time I checked, the judiciary does have the power. I know does have the power to sack a senator when it comes to matters of electoral petitions. So, like I said, I do not know what exactly can be defined as the internal affairs of Parliament. Well, Senator Emerson also said there is separation of powers. As parliamentarians, we know what our rules say. What we do here isn't subject to any court. The issue before us is alleged misconduct on the floor of the Senate. It isn't subject to any court. While he equally acknowledged Senator Akpoti Uduaghan's petition before his committee on sexual harassment and abuse of office against the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, which was formally presented at plenary and referred to the committee, Senator Emerson, however, said the committee was armstrong as there is a pending case in court, Bimbo. So the court has power, does have power over Senator Emerson's petition, but over Senator Akpabio's petition. But the petition against Senator, I'm getting it easy. Now, the court does have power over the petition forwarded by Senator Akpoti Uduaghan, and that is why they are saying that there is a pending case in court. But the same court now issued an order that they should against sitting on the petition against Akpoti Uduaghan, and they are saying the court does not have power over that. So the issue of sexual harassment against Senate President by Senator Uduaghan, that is not internal affairs of the Senate. That and the court should be asked to mind its business. So they are not going to sit on that. They are not going to deliberate on that because there's a pending case in court. That is the. I guess that is the case. That one that was instituted by the wife of the Senate President.
Yes.
Well, see, they say why Senator Akpoti Uduaghan's petition is dead on arrival. Senator Emerson said today at plenary, Senator Akpoti Uduaghan submitted a petition which was read to us. In that petition, she raised the allegation that she was already in court. In our rules, we don't hear a petition already before the court, but you can disobey a court order that asks you not to go ahead with sitting on a particular petition. I don't get it, Bimbo.
Yes, that is why how they twist, the court, they twist issues. They green and red chambers, they twist issues too, so that you will not understand what is really happening. Like you said now, you said you are getting it all twisted up. You understand? So that is how they do. So it is better for one to just leave the matter like it is. We'll go on a short commercial break, and we'll be back.
A parent's dream is to see their child grow up to be healthy, happy, and thriving. When you keep them safe, there's no limit to what they can achieve. Every year, thousands of women of reproductive age in Nigeria lose their lives to cervical cancer. The cancer is caused by a virus called HPV, human papillomavirus. The great news is that the disease is preventable by the HPV vaccine. Early vaccination is the most effective way of preventing cervical cancer in young women later in life. So don't wait another second. Get your daughter vaccinated and ensure she's protected, healthy, and thriving. The HPV vaccine is free and available to girls aged 9 to 14 at primary healthcare centers near you. It is safe, effective, and approved by the Ministry of Health, WHO, and UNICEF. Spread the word and protect the future. Vaccinate your girls today.
This message is brought to you by the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency in partnership with Girl Effect and other partners.
ǹjẹ́ o mọ̀ pé ríra ojúlówó epo bẹntiróòlù jẹ́ ọ̀nà kan láti mú ẹ́ńjìnì rẹ ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́nà tó múnádóko. ìdí nìyí tí iléeṣẹ́ Dangote refinery ṣe ń fọ epo ẹ̀ sí ipò straight run tó mọ́ tónítóní, èyí tó jẹ́ ojúlówó bẹntiróòlù tó ṣe é fọkàn tán fún gbogbo ẹ́ńjìnì rẹ. Ra ojúlówó bẹntiróòlù Dangote.
Right, we're back, and the program is still conversation. And Bimbo, still on the drama unfolding in the Senate. Well, my conclusion here, as a layman, is that well, the senators still see themselves as untouchables. Like I said, from the perspective of a layman, and who does not really know fully what the law says or does not say, except from, of course, the general things we do, we all know about the law. Like I said, I'm still wondering how come that a court says you should not sit on a particular petition, and then you say it is not the business of that court, and at the same time another petition which is supposed to border on the internal affairs of the Senate as well, we are now saying that there is a case in court, which means the court does have power over that particular petition. Talk about speaking from both sides of the mouth. Well, Senator Imasuen also cited Order 40 of the Senate rule, which states that no senator can present a petition signed by herself. He says there are other senators from Kogi State who could have done that for Senator Akpoti Igwaha. He says that is a contravention of the rule book. So he says we are not going to touch it. I'm quoting him now.
Well, we hope it just gets resolved. And now there is another twist to the Lagos Assembly crisis. Acting clerk hospitalized after DSS visit. Staff worried as clerk holds bank withdrawals. So you want to forward ban?
Oh. Well, they said they had an altercation with the DSS officers. Well, I don't know if it was rough handled or manhandled.
There was panic among staff members of the Lagos State House of Assembly yesterday when the acting clerk, Mr. Otun Babatunde, was rushed to hospital shortly after returning from the office of the Department of State Services, DSS, on invitation. Babatunde, who has been displaced from acting as clerk, was said to have complained of dizziness after honoring the invitation by DSS over a petition of alleged incitement filed against him by the former and suspended clerk Olalekan Onofeko. He claimed that the National Industrial Court sitting in Lagos has sacked the acting clerk of the House, Babatunde, who was appointed by the then Speaker Mojisola Meranda, who is now the Deputy Speaker.
Well, my opinion, I think they should have a closer look at his health. I don't think the DSS would have any reason to want to harm him.
Yes.
I don't think they did anything to him. Maybe it's just some health issues that need to be looked into.
It is possible.
Or what reason would the DSS have to hurt him? Anyway.
Or maybe it was slightly, just slightly touched. You understand? And when people are slightly touched like that, it might meet one kind of, ailment in that person,
Well, the DSS, they have, not just the DSS, intelligence agencies all over the world, they have many ways of hurting people without physical violence. Without involving physical violence, they have, and even killing people if they want to. Well, there is I used to have a friend in the DSS that a long time ago, well, he has left the service now, and he once told me that if they want to hurt anyone, that they don't have to hurt that person through physical violence, that they could he mentioned a kind of powder that they could slightly spray on the door handle of your car, and well, God help you if you touch it. If you touch that door handle in a bid to get into your car, it works fire lethal, Bimbo,
yes.
And the person collapses immediately, and might even suffer a heart attack if they intend killing the person. or if they intend just knocking him out. So maybe something like that. We are more fair and conceal or something like that. But then, like I said, I don't see any reason for them to want to harm him. Anyway, if it were God forgive me, but if it were Mr. Obasa or Mrs. Miranda now, I would say maybe someone is interested in hurting either of them, and I will know that they'll allow something. Now that discovers rifles, seizes 50 trucks of fake drugs in Onitsha market. An rainstorm, Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria shuts down Akure Airport. Well, the rainstorm caused havoc in some parts of Akure, Ondo State, on Monday, and even down here in Oyo State, in Ibadan too.
State, yes, Ibadan.
The rainstorm was quite heavy yesterday.
Area, to be precise.
So I don't know. Okay, let's see. Federal government sets new record as power generation. It's 603 megawatts. Okay, that's above what was recorded. I think sometimes I think day before yesterday. The federal government has achieved the record available power generation of 6,003 megawatts, the highest in the nation's history. This was followed by another landmark within the period when the country recorded a peak generation evacuation of 5,801.84 megawatts and a daily maximum energy output of 128,370.75 megawatt hours. These achievements under the leadership of the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, marked a significant step forward in the nation's quest for sustainable and reliable power supply.
I think it was the day before yesterday that they reached 5,370 something megawatts.
But Bimbo, in my neighborhood, the power supply is not yet sustainable and reliable.
And my neighborhood too, my area.
Well, we wait. Maybe the reason we are not seeing a corresponding improvement in electricity supply services, maybe it could be justified. The minister did say some times ago, he said that they were generating more power, but the discos, distribution companies, do not have the facilities to handle and distribute the improved volume of supply. So he said they were building more facilities for the discos. Said the federal government was building it for them, so that they would be able to receive more power supply and then more power generation and then distribute to the Nigerian public. He said that was the problem at that time. Whereas the ideal thing would have been for the discos to have the capacity and the means to handle this increased power generation. So I guess they still have to deal with that before we can begin to enjoy as in real power supply and sustainable and reliable, like they said.
Now this one says 88th birthday. In my lifetime, Nigeria will be great. That is credited to former President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Oh,
yes.
I say a big amen to that. If he says in his lifetime that Nigeria will be great, that means very soon.
Soon, yes.
Baba said is twilight years.
Twilight.
So that means very soon and very, very soon that Nigeria is going to be great. You understand what I mean?
I understand. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo yesterday urged Nigerians, irrespective of their ethnic, religions, and political affiliations, to be patriotic in bulking Nigeria to an enviable status in the community of nations. The former president stated this in his remarks at his 80th birthday celebration held at the Mark Hallelujah of the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital. Yes, that was what he believed, and that was what he said to Nigerians.
Well, he should know. He has witnessed and seen much of the Nigerian story, and he has been a principal protagonist in the evolution of the Nigerian story and then even Nigerian history. So if he's looking at things now, and I know these elders, the things that we are not able to see when we climb a tree. When they lie down or they are sitting down,
they will see far more.
They see for miles. So if it's reviewed the Nigerian situation now, and it's 88, and they're still saying in his lifetime that Nigeria will be great, that means Nigeria will soon
be great.
Nigeria will soon be great.
Now, some eminent personalities have been talking, congratulating Baba Obasanjo. The president, Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has felicitated with former President Olusegun Obasanjo as he celebrates his 88th birthday, describing him as a statesman and extraordinary leader that has made enormous contributions to the development of the country. That is coming from President Tinubu. And former Vice President Atiku Abubakar described former President Olusegun Obasanjo as a rare gem and a gift to Nigeria. Also, former President of the Senate, David Mark, described former President Obasanjo, retired, as a leader of all seasons. And he said, he said that. Speaking at the occasion, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, who was represented at the event by his deputy Salako Yedele, described Obasanjo as a global icon and a Pan-Africanist whose contributions across the continent remains invaluable. Well, those are the reactions of some of those in government and some personalities.
I know, Bimbo, if former President Olusegun Obasanjo is saying Nigeria would be greater, I would prefer that he also puts the word again. We should say Nigeria will be great again, and give it to him. Nigeria was once great under his watch, especially as military head of state.
Yes.
Remember the various lofty programs. I remember Operation Feed the Nation.
Yes.
And I remember so many programs under him. That was an extension of the time that money was not Nigeria's problem, but how to spend it. Even when he was civilian president, Bimbo, at least compared with now, and he was able, he achieved debt forgiveness. Our foreign reserves shored up, and also remember he was able. By the time he was living as military head of state, Bimbo, remember her national carrier, Nigeria Airways, a very huge fleet, one of the largest in Africa, and even the Nigerian National Shipping Line, just to mention a few things. So, if Nigeria, he once saw Nigeria as a great nation, he once witnessed Nigeria as a great nation, and even under his watch, even as the helmsman at the steering of the ship of affairs. So, if he's predicting that we are going to have a reenactment of that and even better times than then, well, I think that's a good one. But he set a condition, Bimbo. He said, if we all do well, we will have an enviable Nigeria. So it means
if all the leaders do well,
not just the leaders, all
and
of
the
us.
People, yes, and the people,
and including themselves too. A third one here, Bimbo. Abducted Catholic priest killed in Kaduna. The Catholic Diocese of Kafanchan in Kaduna has confirmed the death of his priest, Reverend Father Sylvester Okechukwu, just a day after he was kidnapped. Okechukwu was the pastor of the priest of St. Mary's Catholic Church, Tachira, Kaura local government area of Kaduna State. A statement signed by the Chancellor of the Diocese, Reverend Father Jacob Chane, said Okechukwu was killed in the early hours of Wednesday after being kidnapped from his residence on Tuesday night. Well,
this is rather unfortunate.
What did he do? What was his offense? Maybe his only offense was the fact that he was a priest.
Maybe nobody was. Well, I don't know. We don't know whether ransom might have been involved.
Oh, it was still just a day after.
A day after.
So I think that was their intention. Maybe they didn't even intend to ask for ransom. You know, the Catholic Church and most churches and religious organizations, they wouldn't leave their own in that kind of situation. They usually rise up to raise whatever ransom or do whatever it takes to rescue.
Yeah. God save us.
Right, open the phone lines. 080-550-1985 or 070-5555-1985. The numbers to call to be part of conversation this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Michael calling from Molomo Kingdom.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. I want to employ our distinguished senators that we should face the to do. Well, this issue of Fabio and Natasha Putti, I don't see any sense in it. They should please do the needful. And on the issue of privacy, they can do whatever they like with themselves. They are the owner of themselves. Because privacy still belongs to every one of them. So let them do or undo whatever they want to do. Let them do it. God bless you. Have a nice day at work.
Thank you.
080-550-1985 or 70-5555-1985. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
Morning from Ilorin.
Good to have you, Mr. John.
Fubara should not listen to those elders, Asari Dakubo or whoever is giving him that kind of muscles. He should listen to himself. I believe, yes, Wike could be an arrogant person. But if Fubara toy the path of peace and say, okay, let me even visit my mentor, let's make friends, Fubara might not be impeached. And nobody even said he will be impeached. All we can need is for him to lower his ego and follow some path we can want him to follow. That is how they push Jonathan against his mentor, telling Jonathan call his bluff. He is irrelevant in times of politics in Nigeria. He cannot even win his word. When the election comes, most of them were bragging. If Jonathan lose, there will be fire in this country. Everywhere will be painted with blood. That is how they told Jonathan. And eventually Jonathan lose. Everybody went quiet, including those who pushed him. Fubara, listen to yourself. Don't listen to those elders or whatever they call themselves. I don't know what is wrong with some part of this country. Must you always threaten? Is everything about war? Is everything about fighting? Don't you borrow from the southwest how they do their things? Fubara, you can make friends with Wike and things will go smoothly. After all, it wasn't that the vice president doesn't give advice to his governor in Borno State. Nobody see them is the godfather of that governor. But nobody has ever seen them fighting. Because Zulum listens to Shetima very well. Nothing wrong with godfatherism. If I spend my money, I spend my resources to put you there. You don't expect me not to give you one or two advice. Yes, advice could be different. If you know you are not interested in the first place, you shouldn't have allowed me to spend money to put you there. I want to believe Fubara did not spend his cover. It is Wike that spent his money or whether state money to put him there. Fubara, listen to yourself. On what is going on in the House, in the Senate, shame. Well, one day, a few days to come, Mr. Tola and Mr. Bimbo will tell me there is one house that when you pass it, you will on light in that tunnel. And I keep saying, which of the tunnel? Where is the light? Because with all this Senate, look at what they are doing. What are they supposed to be doing? Is it what they are doing? Finally, President Obasanjo has spoken well. Nigeria will be great in its lifetime again. That man must have seen something we are not seeing. But I hope so. Baba, after being a military leader, as even a civilian leader, you have done well. Maybe you will have done better. Yes, I believe so. But you have done well. Congratulations. Enjoy your day. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much,
Mr. John. Well, ex-President Obasanjo is promising that light at the end of the tunnel in his lifetime. Baba is 88, so I guess that time should not be very long when we will see a bigger, greater Nigeria. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
God bless you, Jesus' name.
Amen.
I'm Brother Jetunde speaking from Agora.
Good to have you, Mr. Jetunde.
My question is this: when shall we be free from impoverishment being placed on us by these hoodlums in Nigeria? Kidnapping today, kidnapping tomorrow. Killing today, killing tomorrow. People are being slaughtered like rams. People are running at cattle of places. When shall we be free? Well, I want to challenge the security authorities in Nigeria and those behind it. So that to be weary of what's happening in this country, Nigeria. We are tired. We are fed up. Enough is enough. There should be arrangement in the security structures of this country. It's too bad. It's too bad. People are being very. Somebody who has never handled 500,000 naira. You are asking them, the family, to bring millions of naira. Something should be done. And I want to challenge even all communities in Nigeria to rise up and think of strategies to develop to stop these evils. Enough is enough. I don't think there's any place in Nigeria that is safe. Nobody can claim that it's safe today in Nigeria. And I'm surprised, I'm worried about what's happening in the National Assembly. The senators are they are taking something that's not important as being important. The issue of this woman and the other and the president of the Senate. They should play outside and give it to a committee. But I want to say that even the senators, they are not done. The best of men is still a man. They are telling us that they are higher than the court. Who are they? They are Nigerians like us. You are there today. You no longer be there tomorrow. Be careful. God just do this country, Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. One killed, others injured in gun attack on Ogun community as residents call on IGP for intervention. And many fear dead as truck crashes into vehicles in Anambra. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Bimbo. Good morning, Mr. Tola.
Good morning.
Now, let me start with Mr. Adelabu. In this country, we always do something that which is relevant with our politicians. Any little success like this, they boast, they come on here and talk and boast. They want people to see them that they have been performing, they have been doing, which I think is wrong in the context of Nigeria. There are some things you're supposed to do, which you are voting, the reason why you are voting. Now, even with your claim now that you are making 6,000, like you are not, we've made 7,000 in this country. And what's because this thing? Generation is even not a problem because we are generating more than what we need. It's just that they can't. The grid did the problem, centralized grid and all that. So why can't you guys now, let the grid be, distributed among zones so that this thing will ease on you? But they say it's millions of dollars that is not possible. But start from somewhere. But what you say you are generating and we are not saying it. No, what are you now trying to tell us? You just want to boast on nothing. So Nkadelabu should just focus on it. They'll do his best and leave the rest. Power sector is too big for anybody in this country to handle, except we all agree and do something about it. So that's that. Then on the issue of corporal punishment ban in Lagos State, and one thing I want to tell our people, especially those in Lagos and Southwest, especially everywhere, is that we are not Univos. We want to behave like the Europeans and the white who are back by several corporate policies in their country. And that say it's not good because we have few inches. Someone that slapped somebody and the person died. Someone that slapped and that beat someone and the eyes were removed and something like that. Yes, there are some instances that are not good, which we're supposed to correct. What we could have done is give them a guideline in schools. This is how to beat a child. This is not how to beat a child. Give them guidelines. Not that you ban corporate punishment. We are not Univos. The Chinese still beat their children up to today. So that's the reason reason why they are advancing. We are not the Americans. We are Africans. We know our parents knows when to beat us and when to stop. Once you are getting to 15 years old, they stop beating you. And they start, because they know at that stage, you start listening to them. When they talk, you listen. But by the time, the people of younger age, you will beat him. And we all appreciate them for it. But yeah, we want to just dump everything and say they are. The reason why we have transgenders and gays and all that, they don't listen to anybody anymore. So that's that. Then on the issue of apart from I said something that people from he's worried about people from national assembly. That I don't worry about anybody. They have nothing to do there. That's why they collect money, fight themselves on powders and cosmetics and pregnancy and all that. And 4 years time we still wait for them. That's who we are in this country. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take a short commercial break. Bye-bye, Tikusha.
We are Cowrywise, a wealth manager for every Nigerian. We have one job, and that's to help you grow your money. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a small business owner, a university student, a government employee, or even if you work in an office. If you work hard for your money should also work hard for you. At Cowrywise, we manage your money so that it keeps growing every day. One small drop today, another tomorrow, and little by little your cup is overflowing. Whether you are saving to start a business, buy a car, or invest for the future, you can do so on Cowrywise. Whatever you can dream of, you can save and invest for it on Cowrywise. All you need is a smartphone to start saving and investing today. We are Cowrywise, the savings and investment app for you. Sign up on cowrywise.com to start saving and investing today. Cowrywise. Invest wisely. Grow wealth.
Well, after we're back and the program is still conversation and we're still taking phone calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Mwere. Good to have you, sir.
Mr. Gentleman, 80 years, Nigeria will be great. Under the adventure, covering the masses. I wonder how Nigeria will be under 48. 12 years now, in 1 year. I don't know how it's going to happen. Obasanjo, you know, I believe you in everything. And I believe you, I love you. But what he's saying is not possible. Let's say in Nigeria, that was in Nigeria state. You don't have to interest. Not for the people. For the alone. Then we kill. All the problem. And the claim will be 100. I'll pay 50. I'll leave 40 for you. That is still a matter. But people are saying, we can. The driver pay him. The balance do not pay him. Let him say one. That's my conclusion. Unless they now have a parliament. This problem they have. They don't have anything. They're just leaving people here and there. I'm in power. They increase. All is a lie. You shouldn't people. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Don't let us be always pessimistic. We should be optimistic.
Have some faith, Mr. Nwere. Well, I think he's looking at the timeline of ex-President Obasanjo's prediction, and that's why it's not. But anything can happen. All right, let's go. It's been an interesting conversation. Check your time is 7:30. I will be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
My name is Bimbo Akambi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day.